live stream take 2.
I'm eating my pizza.
Oh, it's continuing from the original live stream.
That's not very live.
So we're going to take about 5 minutes and just watch the Boneman eat his Lou Malnati's pizza as he looks perturbed at the camera.
What's your favorite frozen pizza?
It depends.
Wrong.
DiGiorno. Gino's East.
I've never. I don't know if I've had it. I've seen it.
I used to really like them. I don't know. The last couple times I had them, I didn't really care for them.
I'd go home run in.
You know,
A
that's
buttery, flaky crust.
true, and it's pretty much exactly what they sell at the restaurant.
I wondered about that, and I was talking.
I feel like they just take their frozen pizzas and put them in the oven and then serve them. Because most home run-ins now, they do like a lunch buffet.
Oh, really?
Where they have like 3 or 4 different pizzas, and then they have a bunch of other stuff that's kind of not pizza-like, but Italian or whatever.
Right.
And then they have like some desserts, and like those pizzas literally look like they're just the frozen pizza. But also, home run and pizza is what we used to get at school for pizza day.
Oh yeah, right.
Like, if you went to Catholic school in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area, they would have pizza day, where you'd buy like a pizza or 2. Usually for me, it was like 2 pizzas.
All Catholic schools did that, huh?
I guess so.
Oh, ours did. I had 2 different ones. So
and actually, I went to 2 different Catholic schools, and I think both schools did.
3 Catholic schools.
And yeah, so you'd buy. Your parents essentially would pay for you to have pizza that day. It wasn't like some special thing like, oh,
yeah, it wasn't free. Or...
Right. It was like you got an order form, and your parents, like, you brought in the money. It was
pre-ordered pizza. You couldn't even be like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday, I feel like eating pizza today.
Right. If
you had to be like a month in advance, be like, I feel like eating pizza.
And there was always those kids that like their parents didn't, or they just said they didn't want pizza, and then they saw everybody having pizza and were like super jealous and were like, yeah. Can I get pizza?
Dude, I was always one of the kids who was not getting pizza. Brown bagging it, baby.
Can I get some pizza?
Yeah, it would be a special thing. But yeah, so you would get to not cook or make your kid lunch, right? You don't really need to cook anything most of the time. Unless it's leftovers or something. Unless you're getting fancy lunches. And then you'd get to eat home run and pizza. That was good though, and I still think it's...
And then they would have like special, like, you'd buy raffle tickets. I don't know if your school did that, and like you could win like a pen that looked like a baseball bat and stuff like that. One of the schools I went to did that. I remember saying Stanislaus, Bishop and Mata, back in Boston. That's my best Bill Burr. It's not that good, but
it's pretty good. It's pretty good for a shitty Bill Burr impression. I like this. I think we should do them like this from now on.
Like that.
Then, well, just so half of my face over here Yeah, see, on our screen we're looking at like a Gmail email thing. So he hid under that just now, but you can't see that. Oh man. Can't even see my full wardrobe from this view. This sucks.
You could stand up on the chair. Well, just if you want to know, he's wearing matching pants to his track jacket that we went out and bought together after the Renaissance Fair. We went to the outlets.
Mistaken, sir. What color was that?
You went and bought another one. Did you go back out there?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Revealed.
That's right. Oh.
That one was red and black.
Yeah, now I remember.
This one, my friend.
This was the other one you wanted to get. Yeah. That's why I think I just kind of smushed it together and just assumed that was the one that you
Melissa didn't realize
yeah.
either, I don't think. Because I was expecting something when I got out of the car. They were outside, and when I pulled up, nothing. Yep, I went back out there yesterday.
Oh,
last
yesterday?
night.
Did you go to Cracker Barrel again?
Did not, no. Coffee's good today. Is that different than usual?
I don't think so.
No.
It's the Caribou.
Really still loyal to Caribou after all these years, huh?
I think that's what's at Costco. Like that comes in the big tubs where you get like 144 K-cups or something like that. And I think Melissa likes that. I don't care for that. I gotta get like dark roast, Starbucks, something, French roast, Sumatra, something like that. I gotta get.
Can I get something fancy?
Yeah. I
bought Highlander Grog from Sam's Club, the whole bean, which is it's a butterscotch flavored, not flavored, but hints of butterscotch, vanilla, and hazelnut. It's pretty delicious.
This is just Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
That looks like Dunkin' Donuts milk.
It is. You ask for like a little bit of cream and they still fill it up. Oh, I got a shot of coconut. It's unsweetened. It's nice.
What, coconut milk?
No, like a flavor shot of coconut.
Really?
Yeah. They have like 5 flavors that are sweetened and then like 7 or 8 that are unsweetened.
What?
Yeah.
Like name the
blueberry,
ones.
raspberry, coconut.
They have raspberry.
Hazelnut. French vanilla. Whatever. Caramel and maybe chocolate or something like that.
Yeah, like mocha.
Yeah. And like half of them are sweetened and half of them are unsweetened.
Coconut is not?
Coconut is unsweetened,
it's
my
one
friend.
of the healthier ones.
Yep.
Yeah, so we went back out to the Puma outlet store last night. And, so they have 4 tracksuits, basically. Well, that's what it looks like. They're like, bam, bam, bam. This time, okay, when we went, did they have 40% off on the top thing and 20 and no, right? So this time, on the rack, near the jackets, it says 40% off on the jackets. On the pants, it says 20% off. So I'm like, okay, I don't remember these being here. The price tag still add up to $115 for a tracksuit. So that red and black one I got with you was like $115 plus tax. So when I bring this one up, and I'm with the Reverend, and she picks the black and white one, she's also getting one. And hers is on the left. And it's like where that gray and black one was, you know? This one's on the right, where the one I got was. So I go up and I'm like, those stickers, do they apply to this or that? So this kid, he's really young. He's like probably a teenager. He walks over and he looks at the sticker. Like he makes this whole production of walking all the way over there. He's like, oh, yeah. Well, that's like, so it's for each square. And he's like, so that's for these 2, but then the one you have is not marked down. I was like, yeah, don't worry about it, dude. That's fine. And as soon as I said that, he's like, don't worry, I'll give it to you anyway. I was like, oh, hell yeah. So instead of like, I don't know, $115 plus tax, $83. Woo, yeah! For the new edition, baby. But if they weren't even on there, then the other ones would have been like the same last time too, $115 or whatever. So I got like what, $40 off.
To look like you're a European soccer star.
European.
Yeah, just eat your pizza. Oh, you know what we should have done? I thought about it. Should have got Diet Coke and Coke Zero and then blindfolded me and tried to do the taste test.
We can do that still.
Yeah.
Alright. Which of these is honey? Close your eyes.
Did you know that at KFC they don't have honey? It's called honey sauce. Because it's essentially corn syrup and it's got like honey in it to make it taste like honey, but it's essentially just a packet of corn syrup. And there was kind of a bit of an outrage on the interwebs about it.
So if you just take corn and mash it up, does it just become syrup? What else do they add to it? Since it's like in everything, it's got to be the most base shit, right? It's got to be like corn and flour put together.
I think it's made from corn.
And cancer put together.
Maybe when you're making like
corn,
I don't know,
sucrose,
corn meal, or like you have to like make it more into a liquid,
right?
And then you like
water.
Boil it.
Corn is some sort of corn oil.
There's corn oil. There's corn flour, corn meal. Like you make all kinds of crap. So I guess it's just the process in which you do it.
So what makes a syrup? Some sort of gelatin?
Or you add water to it and you boil it and you extract all the glucose out of it and then it just naturally, like you boil it enough to where it becomes like a syrup consistency.
Simmer.
Yeah.
Simmer.
You simmer it till it comes to a boil. But yeah, so I'm sure.
Not a Boston Jew there.
Yeah.
Boil.
Come to a boil.
Boil the water.
And then you put your matzo balls in it.
Matzah.
Shabbat shalom. Yeah, so honey sauce. And like people were getting really upset about the fact that it's not even real honey. Like KFC can't even give you real honey.
What is up with the Colonel, man?
Well, he keeps changing actors too.
I think that's a good move.
You're gonna put honey on your pizza? Are you just done with it, your pizza? Is that
no!
You're gonna eat that?
Yeah. She acts like it matters.
True.
That's nice of her.
She can just walk through her.
She could walk through here, knock the phone off.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Okay, so he just
now,
put a bunch of...
Popeyes does have real honey.
And he just put that all on his pizza. I guess wouldn't be that bad, but...
It's really good, actually.
So you didn't finish taming Jumanji? What do you have left?
I just took the chainsaw out for like another half hour. And like... cut a couple more things. Went around the garage. Dug up one of the like basically trees. Like all those weeds were major roots and like shit, so that's about it. There's still plenty to do.
Did you get rid of that squirrel?
I mowed a lot more too, actually.
Did you go like lower?
No, not lower, because there's so much debris and sticks. And everything.
That's true.
But yeah, I got a lot more. The squirrel, the dead squirrel, is still enshrined in like an uncut swath of grass. You guys throw it in the shrine, yeah. Monument, squirrel. Dead squirrel.
Uh-oh, somebody's unhappy.
Was being waterboarded. Just kidding. We do not condone that sort of behavior here
True.
at H and the B Man. Oh.
Hand job in the boner man.
That's right.
I got a text from Kelly saying, "I'm so glad hand job in the boner man's back."
Thank you.
I've had a withdrawal.
Thank you. It's terrible to be back.
So that's the full tracksuit right there.
That's it. Alright. Now they know. We just showed them the tracksuit. Don't worry.
Did you notice that it's not the one he bought with us?
I did.
Oh, she did.
He went yesterday and got another one.
Oh, guess what though? So this time they had 20 and 40% off stickers everywhere at the outlet store.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Just
No, but
because
I got it for 83 instead of 120 last time.
You should have brought your receipt.
I'm just saying, remember like how mad we were at outlet
No,
stores?
I would have brought my receipt and would have been like, I want my discount on this.
The point being, I got a discount I wasn't supposed to get on this one.
I mean, you could have paid full price.
I don't want to pay.
Have you ever watched Fresh Off the Boat? It's a comedy on ABC with a bunch. It's Asian. It's
Which
about an
boat?
Asian family.
Okay.
Eddie Wong. He's like a chef or whatever. He's written a bunch of books, and like he lived in Orlando all his life, and his dad owned like Cattleman's Steakhouse or something like that. And so like the whole point of the show is that he's like trying to show you how it was like growing up being like a child of an immigrant. I couldn't think of what it was.
A cattleman.
Cattleman of an immigrant. No, a child of an immigrant, like in like one of the whitest places in the world, which is Orlando, Florida. But there's an episode where his mom,
Antarctica.
his aunt comes to town and his grandmother lives with them, and his mom and his aunt are like biting for her affection, the grandma's affection, by going to like outlet stores and getting the best deals. Like, look, mom, it was $100 and I got it for $20 or something. And it's like, who cares? I got this shirt for $5 and it was, $67 or something like that. And that's what Melissa. It's like that's so true. Like they're always trying to get the best deal. No, but it's kind of. I mean, it's a different culture, you know.
Yes, enlighten your fan viewers about the Asian culture and how we like to find a good deal. Yes, you do that.
I feel like white people don't usually haggle. It's just not in us. But I think every other culture.
I disagree, sir. I disagree because, man. Did I tell you about this tracks?
Yeah, but you didn't really haggle him. You just said. You even said, "Oh, it's fine if you can't do it." But like somebody else would be like, "No, I want like Melissa would be like, I want the 20% off." Like, there's 20% written right there. You better give it to me.
And because of that, that's why the guy was like, you know what, I'm going to give it to you because
Probably.
you were nice and
Probably,
didn't,
right.
being
Right, exactly. No, that's probably exactly what happened.
It was some weird reverse psychology thing.
I've thought about it a few times. Like, it's weird that in our culture, like in like American Western culture, there's very few things that you haggle. Like, you haggle the price of a house, a car,
Yeah.
like big items.
Big purchase.
But everywhere else in the world,
Retail, you can't. Well, guitars is like not really.
you can't like they pretend like they're haggling with you, but
Sure. Kind of like the car does
Yeah.
as well.
that's true. Like you can go to the appliance store, like Apt, right, up on Milwaukee Avenue, and they'll dance with you.
Really?
They'll dance with you. They have
So it's like smaller than a Sears. Because you can't go into like a Sears and a haggle,
no,
right?
no. It's big. It's all they sell is appliance. It's like this giant.
But you can be
Appliance.
like, well,
And you can go there and be like, okay, their list price is, $1,000 for a refrigerator, but they have a separate list. The guy can go into the computer and this is the lowest price you can offer, or something like that. Like
what?
when we bought our dishwasher, we went there. And it was like, okay, it's this much. And then Melissa's like gonna try to haggle with him, and he literally, I think, showed us the computer, and he's like, this is the lowest price I can give you. So like they have it built in to
As long as you ask,
right,
basically.
right. But you go anywhere else in the world, like you haggle the price of everything. You watch a lot of Travel Channel, and he's like, that's one of the things that they're always telling you is like, make sure you haggle because it's almost insulting if you don't haggle and stuff like that.
Here is kind of like we just said with the car and the guitar and stuff. It's kind of all fake haggling,
Right.
And even at Apt is fake haggling, right? He's just
Right.
like, well, this is what we can. This is what we're trying to fucking rip you off for, but this is what we'll
Right.
take.
Right, because like
Maybe in the other countries because it's more of a direct, like, this guy has, like, something, and he's the one who owns the something, as opposed to being at Sears where
Right.
they own the something.
right, they're just like essentially getting crap from
You're
other
the
people.
middleman.
Right.
Yeah.
True. But like maybe houses are the only real thing that you.
Because that's another, usually it's the person's thing, but it's a big purchase.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
But they own it pretty much,
Yeah.
as long as they pay for blah,
Right.
blah, and the bank.
I think
Slavery
I feel like
and all that.
blood diamonds. And
Blood diamonds, pollution, and genocide.
that's what you're paying for when you buy a house. But no, yeah, like I always think about that how.
So what?
And it's like for me, I feel weird haggling.
Yeah.
But for Melissa, she's like, we're gonna go. She puts her gloves on. She's like,
Well,
I'm
I
gonna do
definitely,
it.
but no, like,
But even watching her makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I'm like,
if I go to the head shops are another place you can haggle. If you go to buy a bowl and it's $40, you can try 35. They'll be like cash or credit, and that plays a part. Or if you buy two, they'll give you a deal, so you
Right.
can haggle there. And maybe that's like the only place where like I would be in there so often that like then I would start. It's like, well, I can either just give this dude $40 or I can ask. So I would be like, all right, can you do 30? And I would just start doing that. I kind of got used to doing it, and now it doesn't bother me.
right.
But there's just, like you said, there's no situations for me to do it in.
Yeah.
What I will do, though, is ask about it. Like, because the Reverend wasn't going to ask about the prices or anything, and I was just like, well, you know what? And you know what? Okay. And then this happened, right? Then we went to Sam's. Sam's has these beanbag chairs called Big Joe's, and they actually support, like me, like a full-grown man, really nicely. Like, you can sit down on it and you don't feel like you're going to fall over
Right.
and stuff. Online, they're $90, but at Sam's, they were $60, like they're on sale. So I go up. I went one day. I thought about it. I was like, I don't think I could spend $60 on a beanbag type thing, I looked up online, saw it was $90, and then I started thinking about it. And then yesterday, I was like, screw it, I'm going back. So there were still the two there that were there.
Right.
I decided to get both. The sticker was turned around, so it no longer says 60. It's turned around as if it has no price. You can no longer buy it. I'm like, some of these employees are trying to buy these beanbags. I bet you,
Right.
So first I took it and I turned it around and I put it back in there, and then I took both of them and I'm like, well, if they don't want to give it to me for 60 each, I'll just leave them. Like, I'm not gonna pay more than 60 each. But then when I went up there, it was totally fine. They rang up and it was normal. It was all good. But I was gonna, either leave or pay 60. So had to learn it though. Definitely did not grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one did that. But maybe
furniture.
Used to do that at the maybe furniture. Yeah, my mom would. I feel like
the few times we went to buy furniture,
couches,
my
and
mom
tables,
would be very irate with people.
Mattresses, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because pretty much anything you just maybe even if it's not the haggle, what Americans do is just threaten to walk out.
Yeah.
So they won't haggle, but they'll be like, no, I'll come back. And then it's up to that person. That's the whole dance.
Yeah.
And then they either say, no, hold on, or they let you leave.
Right.
And that's the whole thing,
That makes sense.
Whereas, I don't know, I've never left the country, so I have no experience, but from what you say.
Well, we only went to Mexico, but it was like, I remember Kelly bought like a little Mexican dress for Hazel because she wasn't even born yet, and like the lady wanted to charge her $100 for it, and Kelly's just like, I don't think so. And then like we left. I think did we leave? I don't know. We left and then she's like, no, and then she like, well, I guess she was like, how much do you want to pay for it? And Kelly gave her a price, and then. It was like, so that's the only time I've ever experienced haggling outside of the good old US of A.
If you know what Kelly offered, write in to Hand Job and the Boneman.
I'm pretty sure one of our viewers knows exactly how much she paid for that dress.
I don't think so. What are the odds, really?
All three of our viewers.
13, 14.
We have 3 viewers. We know for sure. 2 people harassed us for not doing shows. So.
Maybe 5 people. I would say maybe 5 if my mom watches. Dang.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yep, this is it.
The story comes alive. This is the $100 dress.
No, 100 pesos.
100 pesos.
Oh! The story thickens. The plot.
Well, I was looking for her to tell me what it was, but I don't remember either.
That's a pretty nice dress.
That's pretty nice. I don't know. What's 100 pesos? Like $10?
I feel like that's what they used to tell us back in like 1995. So that's still what I go by.
The exchange rate. We're going by the 1995
10 pesos to every dollar, baby. That's how it works. I don't know.
I guess that's a $10 dress. I don't know.
I would feel comfortable paying $10 for that.
Yeah.
Wow. So Kelly, you haggled from that point on, huh? You said that was too much. 10. Good job.
She paid
we would not have been comfortable doing that.
Oh man.
I asked the guy if they were going to get any new colors. Because this was the most outrageous one. The other 3 were just variations of black.
Right.
And
there's like 2 black.
There was a gray one, and there was a gray one with a black zipper.
Mm-hmm.
That one was gone. There were gray pants, and the gray top was gone. There were different blue pants and no blue tracksuits. It was all. That's why I think they were marked maybe 40 and 20 actually.
Probably.
But I don't know. It's a pretty good purchase, I think. Again. The first time, it's a real big thing. You feel the difference. Pre-tracksuit to post-tracksuit,
Okay.
But then once you go from 1 to 2,
right.
it's it's not life-changing anymore. It's just kind of strange now. I don't know how to feel now. know,
turning
there'll
point
be
in
a
your
third.
life.
It is.
It's a turning point.
Milestone.
Look, you bought the tracksuit, and you immediately tackle Jumanji. You've cleared out that, and now that's clean, and for the most part.
Once you help me finish the backyard, and we make the beautiful secret garden palace, we could do the podcast back there.
Yeah.
I would feel comfortable back there. I have to be in an enclosed space. You know,
Okay.
because of drones.
I've never seen a drone in this neighborhood.
Government
I've seen
uses
coyotes,
invisible
though.
ones. Oh shit! Really?
On
How
the
many
expressway.
immigrants were they bringing in?
On the expressway.
Of course.
Like running...
Truck.
No, real actual
Semi?
coyotes. Real, like the
18-wheeler?
dogs. Dog coyotes, not...
Jesus, they're people,
human,
sir.
Not human
They're not
traffickers.
dogs. Coyotes are around now, right? They're
Yeah.
moving into the city like crazy. I feel like I saw one in the South Loop or something the other day. I ran up Lakeshore or something.
I told you how Joe Rogan had the coyote guy, and he was talking about how he had a scientist friend who is from Chicago, and he's like,
Oh, yeah,
there-
that's you were telling. That's where I heard it. Okay.
there's coyotes all coming all into Chicago like crazy. One of my friends that I used to work with, he said that the Forest Service over here, he saw a bunch of coyotes one time.
Montrose or something.
Like La
Oh, Central.
Yeah.
The one straight up.
And then I was driving Amelia to my in-laws one time, and the traffic's really bad. And normally it's not bad. And I'm like, what's going on? Is there an accident or something like that? And I'm driving, and then I was in the farthest lane closest to the median, and I saw like 6 coyotes running down the median, and I'm like, oh, that must be why.
Are they pack animals?
I think so.
Coyotes.
Yeah, I think so, because when they howl, they
Oh,
said
yeah.
it's a roll call.
Really?
Yeah, they're doing a roll call. They're not. It's not just
Yeah, right.
whatever.
That's just a salute.
Yeah,
It's not like a rooster.
yeah. It's they do that to know.
That's interesting.
And so when they do it and they don't hear one of the coyotes, the female coyote immediately goes into heat.
Damn.
So that they can reproduce and keep the numbers up, and that's why coyotes are so are like overpopulated and are taking over urban areas now, because
Try to take a nap,
people have
doesn't
been
howl back.
right. People have been trying to kill them for centuries, and they can't because they just keep populating.
Fucking coyotes. Just die already.
There's a house down the block that
Them and
has
the
all
bees.
kinds of chickens and stuff.
Them
and
and the bees. Get rid of them. Good riddance.
I told you
Chickens
that, right?
over here?
Yeah,
Oh,
they-
yeah?
like on the next block, and they like
Legal,
this morning. This morning we were going for a walk and we saw them. They let them out, and I'm like, the coyotes, man, would eat them up.
Man, I would like to have chickens. That would be sweet. I think I eat enough eggs to justify that too.
They just look like little feathery dinosaurs. Like,
Well, I don't want to cuddle with them. I just want them to give me food. I'll feed them. They feed me. You know.
I'd rather eat the actual meat than the eggs. I like chicken.
I like fried chicken, but I've had so many shitty like chicken breasts, type situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're either not seasoned enough or something happened when they came out of the freezer. Because I have a lot of those frozen ones where then if you put them in the oven, something can go wrong. Like half the time they turn out amazing, and then the other half they turn out like rubbery
Right.
and fucking tasteless. So I'm not really like, but it's fried chicken, yeah. If you give me some honey sauce from KFC, fried chicken. Oh shit, this is honey sauce too.
Oh,
Holy
really?
Shit.
Oh, I didn't even see
I saw
that.
honey. I was looking at it the whole time you were telling me the story. Is it focusing? It's
Probably not.
backwards. Right there next to honey, it says sauce.
What are the ingredients? Honey, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, natural flavor, fructose, caramel color, and it's packed for Popeyes.
Louisiana Kitchen.
Atlanta, Georgia. So Louisiana Kitchen from Atlanta, Georgia.
Ba, ba, ba! Right on the front.
That's crazy. I was not looking at the sauce.
You specifically said KFC because we were thinking that Popeyes was above. And I looked at this thing. What? Jesus.
I think on KFC it's just more prominent on the packaging that it says sauce.
So they're more honest.
Maybe. What's up with the KFC commercials where they keep changing who's the actor?
Norm Macdonald was amazing. And then who else? Daryl Hammond, right?
Daryl Hammond, Jim
then they
Gaffigan.
Had that, oh, was Jim Gaffigan one?
Yeah.
Then they had that other dude. That not up in here. That guy.
What?
He's like not really famous. He's doing a bunch of shit. He's really annoying. Been comedies. Kind of like Tam, white dude, brown hair. He's in Superbad or something. Something where he's a cop. Not Superbad then. And he's screaming, "Not up in here!"
Oh, that guy. Was it Rob Riggle?
I don't even know his name, but so maybe. But you know what I'm actually talking about, though.
Yeah, I think it's Rob.
It's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking that guy. I forgot what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I guess he played the Colonel.
Yeah, that's what it was about. The Colonel, for sure. No, yeah, I think he was one. So that's 4 different ones.
Yeah.
What about Eminem? Was he ever the Colonel?
Eminem wasn't the Colonel.
I think he should be, though.
Hi.
Hey.
Somebody's watching us live. You don't have to say hi 3 times, Kelly. How many times are you gonna... what's going on?
Maybe it's malfunctioning.
Maybe. Maybe it... Yeah.
Maybe it's the kids.
Maybe. Birthday shout out to who? Violet? Oh, and your sister. It's definitely malfunctioning. It just keeps saying hi from Kelly and a smiley face from Natasha.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Now it's interactive. Well, okay, since Kelly is online now and watching, can she tell us how much she spent for this? Do you remember the original price and what you talked that old abuelita down to?
The young abuelita.
Okay, Wayne. So wait, 12. She's like, no.
I know what.
You don't remember?
Hans, you have to interpret it. If anyone's watching, they can't see your phone, man. No one can see this, can they? Is this on live or is this on your phone?
She says, I think she talked me up.
It's like $10. I was like, no. It's like $20. Yes. And is it still 10 pesos for every dollar exchange rate? Also, question to you, Tosh. So my question was, are these messages happening over Facebook Live or are they coming to your phone?
I think they should be able to read them on YouTube as well.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're
live.
not on Facebook. Yeah.
Is this a YouTube live message function?
Yeah.
Oh, like Bath and Body Works.
And the conversations have stopped.
Well, because they interrupted. Rude people. If you don't have anything to say, seriously. You just say hi and a smiley face. You ain't got nothing to say. Just interrupted. This is all about go.
Go up. Swipe it up.
There you go.
But see, at least we know it works, so you can't worry about whether or not the live. You were so worried that the live stream wasn't going to work because I had burned you before.
All right, tell the whole story. That's right. Burnt.
She was in a Starbucks briefly and lost Wi-Fi. I'm on YouTube. Can you see all the conversations, or is it just like you're typing in? For us, all your messages are covering up the boner man's face.
I figured it would give us a number of the hundreds of people watching right now somewhere.
Yeah, there's not enough people. It only happens like you got to probably hit like 10 people at least. And we got 2.
What about 3? Can we hit 3? Look, I'm doing Minority Report.
Hey, get down.
I don't think they can see it like that.
They can't. I knew that the whole time. I knew that. This whole thing has been terribly non-interactive and, distasteful, I think. Because they interrupted. Let me get back to their interruptions. Really? So it was just going to keep on scrolling too, even when they're not doing anything?
I guess.
I don't know, man. I think that about sums it up.
About the Colonel?
Yep.
Oh, you know what I watched? Speaking of the Colonel, I watched the... it's not really a documentary, but it's, I guess, a biopic of Ray Kroc.
Oh, the McDonald's?
Yeah.
With
Michael Keaton. Not Michael Douglas. Michael Keaton as Ray Kroc, and then the dude from Parks and Rec is one of the... I forget what his name is. The guy with the mustache.
Ron Swanson?
Yeah. Who do you know his actual... Oh, the comments cover your face. For her too.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah. It's pretty interesting to see how it got started and how he basically like screwed over the McDonald's brothers.
Michael. He screwed over the McDonald's brothers?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I don't want to give it away. But essentially, he so he sells multi-mixers for milkshakes.
Oh, right.
Like that's what
I saw
he
that
does.
Part. I watched like the first 10 minutes.
And then he gets an order
3
for
milkshakes.
he gets an order for like 6, and so
Right.
he's like, "There's no way that this company or this place needs 6. There must be a mistake." So he calls them, and they're like, "No, make it 8." So he drives all the way out to Bakersfield, and he sees the operation, and he's like, "Wow, this is great," and he wants to franchise it. And so it takes him a while, but he convinces the McDonald's brothers to let him franchise it. The problem is that he's not making any money because he he gets the people to do the franchise, but the franchisee, the person who actually owns the McDonald's, they make most of the money, and he's getting like this tiny percentage, and then the McDonald's brothers are getting a tiny percentage. So he's losing money. So he's trying to figure out ways that he can make more money without really changing anything as far as the system that him and the brothers have done. So he's like trying to, one of the biggest things is like the walk-in freezer for all the ice cream for the milkshakes costs a lot of money for electricity. So he's like trying to get the McDonald's brothers to use this Instamix, so it's like a powder and you just add water and it creates something that's kind of like a milkshake.
Right.
And they're like, no, because they're like trying to keep standards and stuff. They wouldn't allow him to put like Coca-Cola symbol, like sponsored by Coke, on the menu and stuff. Like he wouldn't let. These are all things he could essentially get more money.
Right.
And so he like puts his house up for like second mortgage or whatever. and but he's like he's still losing money, right? And so somebody who works at Tasty Freeze tells him, look, you're in the wrong business. You're not in the franchisee business or whatever. You're in the real estate business. Because what was happening is the franchisee person was buying the plot of land and then paying to have the restaurant built and all stuff like that. And that's why they're getting most of the money, and that's why he's only getting a little bit of it. You have to buy the land and then lease the land to the franchisee. And so then he started doing that, and he started making a lot more money, to the point where he could start manipulating things like using powdered mix and of course he's irritating the McDonald's brothers, and they're trying to get rid of him, but he's too powerful now because he's made so much money off of the real estate business.
What a crock.
Maybe that's what we got. That's how we got that term. I don't know. Probably not, because
crock.
I'm pretty sure there was a crock.
So we got to charge him for the franchise, but then also having it on the land. And
so he gets to charge them to lease.
But he wouldn't let them put the franchise on a different plot of land type deal?
Right.
Okay, right. So you need to do the thing, and then you also need to keep it there.
And so he could go, around them. And so eventually the McDonald's brothers are like, they're trying to separate themselves, but they can't because he has too much power. And so he ends up just buying them out. And I think he gives them like $1 million each after taxes, and then they're supposed to get like a certain percentage of McDonald's profits afterwards. But the shareholders, this is what he says, wouldn't sign the deal. Right. Wouldn't sign the deal if it was like that. So we're gonna have to just shake hands on that 1%. Of course, they never got the 1%. They only got the $1 million. Yeah.
Dude, I hate Michael Keaton.
He's gonna be in the new Dumbo movie, the live-action Dumbo.
To kill Dumbo's mother.
It's funny because Danny DeVito's gonna be in it, Michael Keaton's gonna be in it, and it's gonna be directed by Tim Burton. So it's essentially Batman Returns, but with an elephant.
Is this a prequel to Dumbo? Is this the origin story of Dumbo? Dumborigin.
I think the Dumbo movie is an origin story.
Well, that's what you always think until they go just a little further back. But what happened before? Is this a little leaf? No, this is just a...
No, it does come out, yeah. I think it locks underneath. Yeah, there's a lock underneath.
Oh, so you can... minimize?
No, you pull it out and there's a leaf that goes in it.
Really? On both sides?
On both sides, yeah. Oh. Do you want to switch so that you get equal screen time and the comments cover my face?
BOGO. Had some ginger tea last night.
Okay.
It's good. With some locally sourced honey from
Was it organic and raw?
cultured bees. Yep, it was all that.
Was it honeycomb? Did you just put the comb in your tea?
I just fucking I raised bees from infants.
There's a house that you can buy honey from if you want. They
Where?
do it. Like, maybe a block over.
How much?
I don't know. I've never. It just seems odd to go up to somebody's house and be like, "Can I buy some honey?"
I'll do it.
Even though they advertise it.
Where?
Like, the next
I'm
block
saying,
over.
where do they advertise?
On their
outside?
house.
Wow, really?
Yeah. This is
They
like.
should have like a little thing outside. Little vending machine. You can just put in $5.
I'll let them know.
I could sell them the vending machine and lease for the plot of land to put the vending machine on. Oh, so what are you guys doing on Sunday mornings?
They're not. They're probably not even watching anymore. All the whatever. It stopped flickering, and
Lord.
so they stopped watching. They were done after KFC, after the Colonel talk.
They grew up to 100 people yet?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
$1,000 episodes.
Oh yeah, I started listening to it on the Joe Rogan podcast. I just haven't had time to, because it's like 3 hours long, so I haven't.
Yeah, I had it on last night, just kind of as background noise. But then I was just thinking about, I was like, alright, these three, it's going to be like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Anniversary show.
Yeah.
It's been pretty funny though. Joey Diaz seems to be rolling pretty good.
Well, he just has a lot of crazy stories. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Drugs. You can haggle for drugs. Haggle trade.
It's the last
That's
true
the last
enterprise.
one. Yeah, it's the last. The corporations haven't taken it over yet. Not.
Soon enough.
Once that Prozac catches on, it's over. Start watching Sopranos again since I got this tracksuit. Prozac is new, you know?
Oh.
That's like the whole thing. Because it's like 20 years ago. So that shit is becoming mainstream and acceptable. The whole... It's a mobster going to therapy. Get shorty. When did that come out in relation to The Sopranos? Anyone know?
No. Apparently
No one
nobody
knows.
knows.
More of a rhetorical question.
Should it be, though? Should it be?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Is it?
Was
Was it?
the last? How we eclipsed an hour. think that's good.
Think that's
you got
good?
more
Do you have any more stories?
besides my tracksuit and Jumanji? We'll talk about. Oh Jesus! Sorry. How about Jumanji?
We did the movie
No.
about your crazy backyard.
Overgrown backyard.
Yeah. I don't know. It was crazy. Basically, just took a chainsaw to everything. Took your mower to everything.
Weed whacker. Oh man, the electric one I clipped the fence, dude, and it fucking bent the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So man, I got cocky. Started just trimming everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. No more stories. That's all I got.
All right.
What's your plan for this week?
I think I'm gonna actually get back onto the keto thing. Since Melissa was gone, I basically just didn't want to cook because I didn't want to do dishes, and so I think I had like a Italian beef sandwich every day. I was just like on a kick. I was like, I want Italian beef sandwiches.
From Buena every day?
Yeah, pretty much. Not every day, but
Couldn't mosey on down to Johnny's or Jay's or...
I like Bona. That's my beef of choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Even
Portillo's.
multiple days.
Yeah, I'll eat it. That's good. It's good. Like I've had Portillo's, I've had Johnny's, I've had, all the places around us. Like just like the hot dog stand, beef stand, Marco's, like back in the day I used to like it, but we'd always like prefer Bona. And then Roma's? Where's that?
Cicero and Montrose.
Oh,
over
I
there.
think I had a meatball sub from there once.
It's pretty good. It's kind of expensive.
That place, there's a place on Northwest Highway in Edison Park. It's like a old school.
I don't know.
It's an old school like Italian deli kind of thing, but they serve hot sandwiches. And I went with Melissa for lunch that Friday before they left, and they have meatball subs, they have beef sandwiches, and their beef sandwich was pretty good. It was like spicy, even though it didn't have jardinere and stuff.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And I think that's what got me on the Bona thing. I was like, he's like, you want Bona.
Natoli or Natoli?
Yeah, Natoli.
Sun, Belmont. Oh, is that
Oh,
up in
no,
Edison Park too?
no. It's like that idea where it's
It's
like
that, yeah, that's what I was
a
gonna
kind of grocery
Yeah.
store
Oh,
vibe.
shit.
Yeah, Natoli and Sun on Belmont near Harlem.
Right. Yeah, west.
That one's owned by like a old pro wrestler.
What?
Yeah.
Which one?
He was on Cheap Eats. He wasn't like WWF.
Oh, okay.
But he's like a pro
What
wrestler.
happened to Roddy Piper? Did he die?
Yeah, a long time ago.
No.
Like 2 years
Okay,
ago.
wait, no. Someone.
You're thinking of Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, yeah. What
He's in the hospital. Currently. He might have died, but the last thing I don't.
I'm not gonna say Ric Flair's alive. Don't hold me to it.
So don't kill me if he actually has died so far. But from what I know, he was in the hospital.
Hard shit.
I mean, that guy's like 90 years old. He was.
Oh, wait, Roddy
like
Piper
60
died
years old.
2 years ago?
He died a while ago.
He was doing comedy. He died?
Yeah.
I forget.
He died a while ago.
He was doing comedy recently. Like last week. And Ric Flair.
Ric Flair was like 60 when
Boys
we
down.
were kids watching him on
So nice one.
TV.
What, 63? Yeah, he's old.
Yeah. I still remember that
Jig is up.
the one wrestling match we went to at the United Center, and it was like it wasn't televised, and the headliner was Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, and it was like one of the best matches I think I had ever seen in my life, and Hulk Hogan almost won the title, or it was like Hulk Hogan had the title or something like that.
I was there with you?
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, because it kind of rings a bell, but...
It was like they even like somebody pulled somebody's trunks down and like mooned everybody and stuff. It was one of the most epic things, and it was like,
damn, Hulk Hogan and Nature Boy went at it during that one,
and it was like for the title too. It was like,
what? And why wasn't it televised?
Because they do that a lot.
Oh, okay.
You know, they have like the televised show on Monday, but then on Tuesday they would have the untelevised show. And yeah, I was like,
damn,
what? And everybody's like, oh, he's not going to win. It's not televised. There's no way they're going to switch the titles. And I think he did. And then something happened something happened, and then he like pinned him again, and then like won again. It's like, so the title didn't actually change hands. It was like one of the most epic wrestling matches I'd ever seen in my life. I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
Man, I wish I could remember that better. Wait, how old are we?
We were probably 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Because that was a very small period of time where I was obsessed with wrestling. It was like 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade through... I feel like once I went to high school, I stopped watching almost immediately.
Right.
And then I went to try to watch it again. I was watching Raw, and it was kind of boring. And then I was like, let's watch Nitro, WCW. Didn't exist anymore.
Is John Cena still like?
I think he wrestles every once in a while. I don't think he's the main wrestler. I don't know who the main wrestler is anymore. Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, I always hear that name, but I wouldn't even be able to.
He's related to The Rock and those guys.
Illuminati type stuff.
The Samoa.
Take over wrestling too.
The Samoa wrestling family.
God, all the presidents have been related.
Did you know Yokozuna and
was
The Rock
related to all the presidents?
was related to The Rock and Rikishi and all those guys? They're all like cousins and shit.
That's bullshit.
And Roman Reigns is one of these guys.
Crony
there's
wrestling.
There's like 3 black dudes that wrestle together all the time.
Booker T.
I think he's finally retired. But he actually became like a huge star after WCW ended. Because he went to...
He was always a huge star.
No, he wasn't. Not in WCW. It was like maybe the last a year or two of WCW where he was like competing for the title with Diamond Dallas Page and stuff. But... Bam! But he really, like, for the longest time, he was like a tag team with his brother, Harlem Heat. For like the early part, like when I started watching wrestling and he came on the scene, Harlem Heat with his brother, Harlem Heat. But yeah. But I think Brock Lesnar still wrestles and.
Brock Lesnar. Oh yeah, but he went UFC for a while, right?
Yeah. And John Cena like wrestles every once in a while.
Just does charity work everywhere.
I mean, even The Rock would wrestle every once in a while. Like
still?
Yeah, he wrestled at WrestleMania 2 or 3 years ago.
He's got to go back because he's on like some fucking new juice. You know what I mean? He's like bigger than ever.
Oh yeah. Have you seen that meme where it's like Rocky Maivia, where like he was all like flubby like before he was The Rock, you know, and then The Rock, you know, with the Brahma Bull tattoo, and then it's like the new Rock, and then they have like a mountain, and that's what he's gonna evolve into. Because he just, even Joe Rogan was like, this guy is massive, like super solid. I forgot what podcast maybe it was the Pauly Shore one.
Oh, okay.
Or Owen, whichever one I just listened to before this 1,000.
Yeah.
And he was like, this guy is massive. Like, he's like a tree trunk. Like, his arms are as like tree like branches. They're so. He's like, I went to go like give him a hug, and it was like, this man is massive. It was like, it's weird how he even. I saw he got the Brahma Bull cover up.
Yeah.
It's like trying to erase this wrestling past.
What's the Brahma Bull? What is it? What's its significance?
That was his like logo for the longest time.
That's like the Rock's logo.
Yeah, he used to have it on his trunks because it was like the bull with the eyebrow.
No way, really?
Yeah, it was like a bull's face with the eyebrow.
So he got that as the Rock, or that was like
he got
because he had the tattoo. It became the Rock's signature because tattoos were still novel back then.
I'm gonna say that when he became the Rock and he was more of like he was feuding with Stone Cold, he already had that logo, like it started, and he was calling himself the Brahma Bull.
Oh, like
and,
as a side note to
and
the Rock.
then he got the tattoo, and then once all that happened, like he still referred to himself as the Brahma Bull, but he became the People's Champ. Remember, because he went from being a heel,
right?
Because nobody liked him when he feuded with Stone Cold, to then people started liking him, and I think he was still feuding with Stone Cold, but
Stone Cold.
He was
Stone Cold was cool, man. I want to go back and watch that shit now.
I really never cared for him, but it was funny
None
when
of us did. We were just like.
No, people. I had
now.
like friends from school who loved Stone Cold. They would always wear the Austin 316 shirt and all that. Yeah. You know when we would play wrestle and stuff, and you do your entrance or something like there were guys that always were like gonna do Stone Cold and be like, yeah, and like pretend to drink the 6-pack of beers and stuff. So like there were definitely people who were. I mean, obviously he was so popular, but I know he'd never really appealed to me. I was always like an Undertaker guy, but I did like it when he fought with Vince McMahon, and like he went to the hospital and he's beating Vince McMahon, who's like in the hospital bed with like a bedpan and stuff. Like that was hilarious. That was the weirdest time to be into wrestling. It was so crazy.
That's why I want to go back and watch those. Like the new stuff doesn't interest me, but I would like to go.
I've read or watched something where they talked about how they've kind of tamed it because they went so overboard during the Attitude Era when we were watching.
Really?
That they decided to kind of just completely go 360 and go
because they're all
or 180.
Keep on, I mean, like them
and
jumping
went
off
super
all that
family
shit.
friendly and like you had Hornswoggle as like a little person being a leprechaun or some garbage. Right. So they're like it's really tame. Like I've watched it and like the wrestling is the same, right? Like the skill level is the same, right? Yeah. But the storylines that they're trying to push for the different wrestlers against you, it's not as entertaining as it was.
Well, when you were into it, that was when that Beyond the Mat thing came out, right? And that's a pretty dark documentary, isn't it, in general?
Like half of it is about Jake the Snake being on crack or something.
Him and his whole downward thing. But then I feel like even the shit with Mick Foley is like really heavy, isn't it? Like
with his family, like watching him, like I don't know if that's in that documentary, but I've seen a documentary with Mick Foley where like the one match, the Hell in a Cell, where he gets thrown off the top.
Yeah, I think that's Beyond the Mat.
And he goes through and you see his wife and kids just like think he's dead and stuff. It's like, oh my god.
I'm pretty sure it's Beyond the Mat because I haven't watched too many extra.
Like chairs are illegal now.
Right. I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, because during that era, like that. They were diving off the highest fucking, like, shit, and people, Mick Foley was actually bleeding and cutting himself. It's like, how long can you do that before you're just like, there's going to be a dude who just, like, cuts his face, for the cameras and bleeds, like.
Well, that's a lot of times that's what they would do.
No, I know, yeah,
Right.
the thing, but I'm saying that it's gonna have to get to the point where they're just covered in their own blood,
Right.
or else it's gonna be normal.
That,
So they
I think
had to,
Stone
like,
Cold did that once.
They had to back.
Yeah, he like
There you go.
he did the cut, and then was it maybe Bret Hart put him in a sharpshooter, and he's like, and Bret Hart's like, yeah, and he's just like, his face is just drenched in blood. He's like, and he's like, I'm not gonna give up.
Because he said so.
You know what I think it is because Chris Benoit, when he killed his family and then killed himself.
What year was that? You think that really, they were like, ooh, that puts
Yeah,
a really bad look on
I
us.
think so, because
So they
I
tried
feel
to-
like after that you didn't really see a lot
You
of
got
that
nailed
stuff.
on the year though, because when's the turnaround? Because they were definitely they were dark when we were in that, what's that middle school called, 6th through 8th grade type
Yeah.
thing. They were pretty damn dark,
Yeah.
and it was pretty like fringe. Still, I feel like fringe hillbilly type thing, you know?
But it was still so huge.
Yeah. Well, there
It's-
are a lot of
Well, like even in Chicago and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
Hillbillies in Chicago,
Yeah.
for sure. Juggalos.
that's true. The annual Juggalo gathering was always in Illinois for
Yeah,
the
now
longest
it's
time.
in Omaha or something.
Yeah. But WWF was not as white trash or hillbilly as ECW. Me and my dad went to
Oh,
ECW one time. You had to go through metal detectors. This is before 9/11, where you have to go through metal detectors for everything.
Right, yeah.
You had to
so
go
it's
through a
not
metal
normal.
detector and get patted down because people, I guess, were bringing like weapons and shit.
Oh my
And it just
God.
felt like it was out in Villa Park at the Odeon or whatever it's called. And so it's like that place is
Yeah.
really shifty, especially at night.
Villa Park is a really shitty, just like, cause it's like rural, but it's like just like there's nothing
Right.
but bars, just bad bars where like you're gonna get stabbed.
Right. And so you're just like, it just felt like, you know, those scenes of like Thai kickboxing, like in movies and stuff, like that's what it felt like. Like
Hot shots.
with the caramel,
Bears.
and he's like, sprinkles or gummy bears.
Nuts.
But it like felt like that, like it had that kind of vibe to
Oh
it.
man, I would
like,
love to see you and your dad stay
just
there.
like,
That's
because
hilarious.
that's totally out of our element. Like that is
Yeah,
not
that's
us
so
at
funny.
all. And it's just like, okay, but at least once the wrestling started, you could be like into the wrestling. But it was like all up until then, you're just like, this is just like the
When you
shadiest
guys
place.
left, you were like, your dad was like, we're not doing that again.
I think we actually got tickets for another ECW event, but then we didn't go or something like that. I forgot.
You'd seen you tasted the fire. Like so dangerous.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so
That
like,
makes sense. So yeah, they just had to make it all kind of tone it down again.
like
Went
even
too far.
right, because like you had like even though WWE was going so far, then you had ECW that was taking it even farther.
all that backyard wrestling
Yeah.
was going on, and then with the camcorders and everything. Even though we had camcorders as kids, they became like cheaper. More people had them,
Yeah.
even before phones and shit came out. So everyone was taping themselves breaking light bulbs and fucking
Putting 3 or 4 tables
and
stacked up, and
yeah,
then like power bombing somebody off their roof.
coinciding with Jackass and the wrestling
Yeah.
and all that shit. So it was just like, yeah, I think they had to make it just. There's probably enough of that extreme shit going on.
Yeah,
It might as well just go as mainstream as
Yeah.
possible. And
yeah. That's what I like saw or read or something like that. How they just like did a complete 180 and were like, you know what, we're just gonna be super family friendly and. You know,
so Chris
I mean,
Benoit, did he have like CTE?
he might.
That was
have.
before they were even
Right.
talking about
Yeah,
that
they
shit.
didn't
They
know
blamed
about
it
it.
solely on the steroids and him
Right.
being suicidal.
True.
Was he also taking medication for depression or
I don't know.
something like, I don't know. He was fucking around so much shit, right? That they basically said that, you know.
I mean, think about it. Like they used to have a character called the Godfather that was a pimp and had his hose Like that was just a normal thing. Like that would never happen now. Like that was just a normal thing. You had Ass Man.
None of them would happen now.
True, you had
The
the Ass
Iron
Man.
Sheik wouldn't happen now. You know.
No, the Iron Sheik would happen.
No.
And they would have some American dude beating him up.
No,
because that's how
the
it used-
opposite. It
that's-
would be he'd be a hero.
Because that's how it always was. They always had like, Iron Sheik came out when the Ayatollah Khomeini, right? And then during the Cold War, they always had like
The
some Russian guy,
right.
and they always had some American dude that was all American. Even like Lex Luger, when he came to the WWF, he was like got his red, white, and blue trunks and was like, it was Yokozuna. He's the evil foreign dude, and like he body slammed Yokozuna on
Pearl
a
Harbor, motherfucker.
exactly on a like an aircraft carrier in the middle of
Oh my God.
like Virginia.
Jesus.
Washington D.C. does this thing. Nobody else can. Everybody's trying to like. I think it was to fight him at WrestleMania. Whoever could body slam him could fight him for the title, and Lex Luger is like comes from like a Apache helicopter, like
George
flies
Bush
down,
is flying it.
and he's like. And he's running. He's like, I'm gonna do it, and they're like, no, you can't. And he does it, and everybody goes crazy. It's like they always do something like that. I'm sure they'll bring something like that back.
No, that's just dumb.
They're gonna pretend like Roman Reigns is really a Iranian or Iraqi
Yeah.
soldier, and then be like, kill him, and find some white dude. CM Punk will finally come back to.
They're gonna have some dude, like, some Iron Sheik beat some Russian dude. That's what they're gonna do. So
No, they'll have a North
it's not an
Korean guy now.
American.
They'll find like some fat Kim Jong Un looking guy.
They should.
They should.
Yokozuna should come out of retirement in
He's
defense
dead.
of North Korea.
He's dead. Plus, he was never Japanese. He was Samoan.
Did anyone
Those
tell him?
are some of the best matches. Him against Undertaker. They did like 3 casket matches in like 94, 95. Those are really badass. So, they're on the YouTube. Go. Don't stop watching this, but then when we're done, go watch them.
Trying to get to 5 viewers. All at once.
I think the other 2
We
have
start
left.
calling
The
our
first
family
2.
members.
I think the first 2 have already left and stopped watching. They're like, we'll just wait till they're done and then we'll watch it.
It's funnier if we can fast forward. Oh, I could go live here and then live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when do you want to,
Finish Jumanji?
I'm probably gonna go. I got nothing else to do today, actually. Might as well. What's it gonna be like? Is it gonna rain? It looks like cloudy early, but then
It says mostly
Chill.
cloudy on my watch.
And you watch. Oh my god, it's gonna get up to 89.
Yeah, maybe not want to do
It's
yard
gonna get
work.
up to 88, 78 now. Jesus. Something about having that chainsaw running too makes you fucking sweat. It's half, working it, and then
Right.
you have to be ultra like. Make sure you're exercising control, so that takes a lot of muscle thing. But then, I just picture the chain snapping with every revolution, and slicing my face in half. So it's part mental as well. So you just.
Yeah, you did look very. You had it
Gotta
really
be.
far
Yeah.
away from me.
Gotta have some
That's why I
healthy
took the-
respect for it.
The lawnmower. I figured I don't have to worry too much about dying.
Like I can work it. I can keep from cutting myself, but I picture the thing snapping,
Right.
and it flying off and wrapping itself around this beautiful mug right here.
So should we call it?
Yep.
All right. Peace.
Call it, well, no.